tighter and tighter through 12, 13, and then down to the first gear, 14. These guys are supposed to be testing out these conditions. They're racing.
You've got to push to get heat in the tyres. If you don't have heat in the tyres in these conditions, it's very, very easy to crash out of the race. That looked like Petrucci getting up the inside of Zarco, so Danilo Petrucci's getting really, really aggressive on this first lap. It was Petrucci that picked up Zarco at turn 14. First lap then about to be completed. Lorenzo, the chief aggressor, off the line. Great launch and then really aggressive up the inside of Marquez. And Vinales the first corner. Lorenzo from Marquez, Dovizioso, Vinales, Crutchlow, Petrucci in 6th place. Then it's Miller, Zarco, your top 10.
Let's just see how these conditions settle down a bit. As Dylan was saying, the rain has now stopped, so they shouldn't get worse, and it will be a long, long race.
Petrucci, I think, has just picked off Cal Crutchlow down in the turn number 9. Danilo Petrucci's flying. Has he got the drive out of Tremonto as well to sweep up the inside of Maverick Vinales through turn number 11? That would be an extremely brave move. He's not quite close enough through the fastest corner on the circuit, but Petrucci, he said before this race, with no championship to think about, he can throw caution to the wind. The kitchen sink's coming here from Petrucci. He started this race in 8th place, already up inside that top 5.
Then there's Jack Miller running in 7th place. We know how good he is in these conditions. There you go. There is Vinales. You just got Petrucci behind him. Glimpse there of Cal Crutchlow as well. Good battle. And Jack Miller behind them, and he just again got the glimpse of that number 5 through the spray. Of course, that is Johan Zarco. Look at these conditions. We ride with Vinales.
The drive that Petrucci got out of the final corner was unbelievable. Vinales will have the inside line, so he'll be able to keep Petrucci at bay, but the grunt of the Ducati, and he just rides around the outside of Vinales going through turn number 2. Petrucci has got great confidence. He's got great temperature already in those Michelin rain tyres, and he started to attack now for the podium. Dovizioso next in his tyres. Vinales back then to 5th.
I'd be quite happy, Vinales, to stick behind Petrucci for a bit. They're probably going to drag you along. Oh, moment there for Marquez.
Just a bit. Coming out of turn 5 as he squeezed the power back on. Out of the seat then for Marc Marquez. That's the first big warning sign then for the world champion. He said he was going to be careful thinking about the championship in this race. He does not want to take any crazy risks. He knows Jorge Lorenzo in front of him. It's not a championship contest. Here's the replay at turn 5. Yeah, big moment, big rear tyre slide for Marquez through turn 5. Got away with that one.
You're not going to get away with it all the time. Marquez has crashed out 3 times this weekend, including in the wet warm-up this morning. Lorenzo leads away. Marquez, Dovizioso, Petrucci, Vinales, Crutchlow, and Miller. We have Zarco, Elation Spargo, Michele Pirro running in 10th place.
As we feared. Crutchlow, he had a massive moment on the front 10 as he came through turn number 11. Carl Crutchlow did incredibly well to hang on to that LCR Honda there because he was nearly down the road.
He didn't lose any places either. Here they are. Turn 14, the first gear right. Left-handers coming up. Lorenzo's through the first one. That's where he crashed out in 2015. I remember Jorge Lorenzo into turn 16, the Mazzano corner when he crosses the line. 25 laps to go. He had 3 in these treacherous conditions.
Yeah, Lorenzo, the only man in the 148, although Petrucci also in the 148. Lorenzo, quickest man on track, 148.762. It's all bunching up a little bit behind Maverick Vinales. We heard from Valentino. Valentino Rossi and Vinales earlier on this year. The Yamaha this year in the rain doesn't seem to have as good a grip or as good a feel as what it did in 2016. Rossi, you remember, had some great rides in the rain last year, but not happy with the performance of the bike this year. Vinales at the moment. From out of the bubble, because he just couldn't see where he was going behind the screen. He lifted his head out from behind the bubble way before the braking zone, and Crutchlow has another little twitch on the rear as well coming out of Tremonto. Cal Crutchlow is pushing really hard to try and find a way through on Maverick Vinales, just making a couple of mistakes in the process.
But that's how the championship positions would be. It's a long, long way to go. But Vinales doesn't really want to get Miller and Crutchlow past him as we stand at the moment. He'll start dropping into the over 20 points down. Early days. We've seen JORGE Lorenzo lead races before on the Ducati and then slip back with tyre wear. That's probably not going to happen today. This is Lorenzo at his best, isn't it?
Dovizioso and Petrucci are just starting to close in on Marc Marquez as well. That scare that Marquez had at turn number 5. I just see him having a couple of laps to gather his composure back in. So there's Petrucci in 4th place. He's now the fastest man in this race, a 1:48.550 from Petrucci. As Miller up the inside, that's aggressive, but Crutchlow will have the inside line through turn number 2, so he'll hold firm in 6th place.
Brave stuff there. It's slippery there. We've seen so many riders go down there. Riders also going down just here, coming into turn 4 in the braking zone, but they're all safely through. You can see the advantage Lorenzo has got as they go through turn 6. It's a fair old advantage through the very fast turn 7.
Petrucci's got Dovizioso. Petrucci's got the better drive coming out of turn 6, and he's got the inside line, the braking zone, so he's pushing Andrea Dovizioso back to 3rd place. Danilo Petrucci then into the podium places. Keep a very close eyes but on Loris Baz on that Realia Vinci Ducati, the 2-year-old Ducati. Baz has just taken the latest Spargro for 9th place.
Dovizioso closes up on the rear wheel of Petrucci. So Lorenzo, Marquez, Dovizioso, Petrucci. What is happening behind? Have they got past Maverick Vinales? Is he just holding them up a little bit?
You've got to feel sorry for Dani Pedrosa. We feared he might struggle getting heat into those Michelin rain tyres. He's currently circulating down in 20.
I'm going to keep speculating here. And this is Martin is maybe telling his team, I think this track is going to dry out. All the second bikes are prepared for wet conditions, and he might be thinking, I might be needing slicks later on, so they are now just changing the bike around.
Well, he's the master tactician, isn't he, when it comes to flag races, Marc Marquez. I think he's won 5 of the last 6 flag-to-flag Grand Prix. He's such a clever thinker in these kind of conditions, isn't he, Marquez? Looking at it now, you can't believe it's going to get dry. Was there just a hint of a dry line as they came over the line? There's still a lot of spray being kicked up. There is a long way to go, 22 laps.
Just trying to see what tyre they are.
That was a rain tyre, because they'd have had his second bike fitted for with rain tyres, just in case he had a problem with the number 1 bike coming to the line or on the warm-up lap. So They're obviously trying to get it fitted up with slicks. I know Dylan's going to be basically pitching his tent now outside Repsol Honda just to make sure he doesn't miss a thing.
But
Petrucci was in a little bit hot.
being changed, springs being changed, everything.
Petrucci got in a little bit hot there at turn 4. Crutchlow's down. Cal Crutchlow had passed Maverick Vinales. That's a Ducati. That's a Ducati. That is a... It's Lorenzo. Oh. It's Lorenzo. I wasn't quite sure that it was Dovizioso or Lorenzo, but Lorenzo's crashed out of the lead. He just set the fastest lap of the race, so 1:47.807. There's going to be no fairy tale first Ducati win in Italy for Jorge Lorenzo, and Cal Crutchlow also down the road.
Guys, Maverick Vinales, there's also movement now in his box. It looks like the Yamaha is also being converted to dry.
Jorge Lorenzo walks away. He's won here 4 times. He's not going to win this time round. Let's have a look. Oh, what a big crash for Jorge Lorenzo.
On the gas. Oh, you'd think it was on the gas coming out of turn number 6. Cal Crutchlow has managed to rejoin the race. Lorenzo was pushing. There's no doubt about it. There's been a couple of laps lately where he's been over a second faster than the chasing pack behind him.